Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie. We're so happy to be back doing live shows this week after we took a little time off and showed you the best of the Splash Live last week. So again, you can see us every morning on the weekdays, so Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Civic Center TV, AT&T Channel 99, and Comcast Channel 15. We're showing you all the exclusive stuff that's going on in the greater West Bloomfield community with those featured interviews that we have, as well as those stories that we will show you today. Before we head into all of our content for today, we're going to show you that nomination code that we have for our Person of the Week. So this is a QR code that you can scan, get a little bit more interactive with us here on the Splash Live. You can scan that QR code, fill out the short Google form that we have, and this is going to be someone that you think that we should nominate here and highlight on the Splash Live, whether it is educator, a student, or a teacher at any of the West Bloomfield schools, as well as anyone that you think is making an impact here at the greater West Bloomfield community, whether that is someone in a business organization that is making a difference here. We want to make sure that we are interacting with our audience and having you guys fill out that QR code and Google form if you think that there is someone in the community that we should highlight. 2 weeks ago, we highlighted Heather Cruz. She was the West Bloomfield Spanish teacher and peer mentor teacher that is helping out those students at West Bloomfield High School. We're going to jump now into our current events. This week, we have a jam-packed week. This is last week to do the Toys for Tots event. We also have the Farber Center Holiday Market that's also going on. But we're going to start off with the West Bloomfield Park's Winter Solstice event. So this is something that you would already have to register for. So if you haven't registered for it, you can call them and see if you can get on the wait list for that. But this is going to be next week on the 21st. This event is from 5 until 7 p.m. So if you have your tickets there, you can go, and this is going to be a fun event to celebrate the winter solstice. It is going to be happening from 5 until 7 p.m. So this is a nighttime event. You can go, and they will have all the trails lit up. This is at the Recreational Activity Center at West Bloomfield Parks. And this will be a fun way to get together with your family, if you want to bring your family, your friends, and interact with the greater West Bloomfield community. This is a fun event that the West Bloomfield Parks is very excited about. They're going to have some food, a lot of fun activities there for the West Bloomfield community to celebrate the winter solstice. It'll be a chilly event, obviously, at nighttime from 5 to 7. So you want to make sure that you bundle up and grab your family and friends. So if you have any questions, you can also contact West Bloomfield Parks. And our ongoing event also is the Farber Center Soul Studio Holiday Market. And if you haven't gotten your holiday shopping on yet, this would be a perfect place to visit. It is right off of Drake Road. This will be ongoing until the end of December, until the holiday season wraps up. So if you haven't done your holiday shopping yet, go in, check it out. They have a bunch of fun pieces that their local in-house artists create. Obviously a great way to shop local and small this holiday season as well. You can get personalized, customized sneakers as well there. If you have any questions, you can call them. But these are going to be one-of-a-kind art things that you can buy, you can purchase, whether that's jewelry. They also have some art pieces that you can go and purchase. These are also all going to be made in-house from their artists. So if you want to support local this holiday season, make sure you go and check them out. And our last ongoing event actually wraps up this weekend. It is the Toys for Tots Drive. So this is in partnership with the Marine Corps West Bloomfield Fire Department. So this is going to be making sure that all of those underprivileged families in our greater West Bloomfield community are getting helped out this holiday season. So if you've already done your holiday shopping and you want to still donate, you can go out and grab a toy for infants, toddlers, teenagers. Those teenagers are the ones, those teenage gifts are the ones that they want to make sure that they get enough of, because oftentimes people go out and just get those gifts for their toddlers. So they want to make sure that if you can go and grab a makeup kit or a science kit or something that you think a teenager would like, they also have a list of recommendations on their website there for the West Bloomfield Fire Department. And if you already done your holiday shopping, don't want to go out and get another gift, you can also donate a check. So these checks can be made out to the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation. Any thing that you can pretty much give if you want to give $20 up to $100, whatever you want to give this holiday season, whatever you're able to. They would love to have you help out there. Again, this is the Toys for Tots drive. It wraps up. They're accepting gifts until December 18th this weekend. They want to make sure that they're giving back to the West Bloomfield community. With the pandemic, obviously, people are maybe out of work or struggling a little bit to make ends meet this holiday season. So if you can give anything, whether that's a small toy or a check, you can drop it off at any of the West Bloomfield Fire Department stations as well as Town Hall during business hours. If you have any questions, you can also give them a call and see if you can give, whether that's a check or a small toy. They'll answer any questions that you have there. Our first guest today is going to be Jill Bickford. She is here from the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. We talked about a couple of the events going on there with Kathy Russ. She is the library operator there at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. This is a great way and a great place to visit if you want to pick up a book, or they also have some of those nice programs there at the library. Jill Bickford is the youth coordinator for the youth services there, and we've talked to Kathy about some of the adult programs as well as the youth programs that they have going on there at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Jill has also made an effort during the coronavirus pandemic to make sure that the youth in our community are having fun, reading, learning, whether they had online or hybrid classes last year. So we want to check in now with Jill Bickford. She will tell us a little bit about some of the youth programs going on at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Jill.
Thank you. So what's very exciting is today our winter reading program starts. And everyone's familiar with libraries holding summer reading programs, which serve the purpose of making sure kids are reading when they're out of school so that they don't experience what they call the summer slide and regress in their reading skills. But the other thing that's really important is to make sure that year-round kids are reading for fun, not just reading what is assigned to them. And we know studies show that the more kids read books of their own choice and read, for fun and not just what's assigned, the better readers they become. And a recent study showed that we're at our lowest recreational reading numbers since the early 80s. So that kids are reading for fun much less often today than they used to. And that does impact their reading scores and their overall academic success. So the winter reading program aims to get kids reading for fun. They get to choose whatever they want, unlike at school where they're getting their instructional reading, which is important, but they get to pick absolutely whatever they want. So starting today, they can come into the library, either the West Acres branch or the main library, sign up for the winter reading program, and just for signing up, they get to pick a free book from our book fair to get started with the fun reading. And then throughout the winter, through mid-February, they can earn weekly prizes for spending just 30 minutes of reading for fun.
Very exciting. And then you talked about a little bit that summer slide and some things that may have happening normally with kids with taking that summer off and then going back into school. But especially with the coronavirus pandemic that's obviously still ongoing, have you seen a difference with the youth that come into the library, whether they were online or hybrid last year, and maybe a difference in their reading abilities or maybe a little bit of more of a struggle this year?
There's definitely the issue that kids got a whole lot more screen time because in many cases they were attending school via screen, as well as not being able to have those social interactions, the play dates, the birthday parties and things. They didn't get a lot of social interaction and were turning more to screens. So parents want them off the screens and reading more. And the kids are, looking for fun things to do that don't involve, massive social gatherings. So reading has really helped with that. What we're also seeing is, one of the great things about reading is it enables kids to experience new cultures and new places without traveling. And while kids have not been able to take their regular vacations and travel and do field trips, reading stories about different cultures and different places and different time periods is almost allowing them to have like field trips in their mind. So that's been very helpful. And we're now just starting to get kids back into the library, kids who may not have visited us over the past year and a half, just starting to come in again and see all that we have to offer.
And then, Jill, can you tell us a little bit about, maybe if people are unfamiliar with your position as the coordinator for youth services at the library, can you tell us a little bit about whether it's day-to-day, what your routine looks like, or maybe what you kind of oversee there at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library?
So I'm head of youth services. So I coordinate all the youth activities, which is birth up to 5th grade at both the main library and the West Acres branch, which involves not only the collections that we carry for kids, but programming. And right now we're just sort of taking it month by month in terms of whether we're what type of programs we're offering. We haven't resumed in-person programming yet. But we are doing a lot of virtual programming. So we're still doing some programming via Zoom, where kids get kits that they can take home, preschoolers and toddlers, and participate so that they have, in normal times, they would come to a story time and they'd get like the scarf to wave or the little instrument to play. They get all that in a kit that they can take home so they can still participate. And we have resumed the use of toys in the library to make it an interactive learning space. So kids can come in and ask for toys at the desk and have some playtime in the library as a way to get them out of the house and have some things to do outside the home and maybe some things that they don't have in their home.
And then for a parent or guardian watching, if they want to get their child involved in some of these services, especially with today the registrations opening up for that winter reading program, how would one go about registering their child or maybe themselves into some of those programs?
So all the information is on our website, and as long as they have their library card number handy, they can register on the website. They can also call us or they can come in. They certainly, once they get signed up, they want to bring the child in to pick that free book that they get to pick for signing up, because that's kind of the exciting part to kick off the program.
Well, very exciting. Thanks so much for telling us a little bit about the youth services and your position here at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Jill.
Thank you.
Once again, we are joined by Jill Bickford. She is the head coordinator for youth services at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, and telling us a little bit about some of the youth services that they're starting this winter, as well as making sure that your child is getting all the reading and maybe a little bit less screen time this year as we head into in-person school. We're now going to take a short break, but afterwards we're going to check in with Doug and Allie Cohen. They are the co-owners of Frameable Faces, telling us some of the advice that they have for getting your holiday portrait shot if you're going to send out a holiday card this year. It's not too late, so we're going to check in with them right after the break.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
We're now going to check in with Doug and Allie Cohen. They are the co-owners of Frameable Faces. They're in the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. They talked a little bit about their business and how they started out, as well as what to do this year if you're looking to get a holiday portrait done for that holiday card, or for anything with families getting back together this holiday season. If your family is here together, they have a little bit of advice. Let's go check in with them now.
With the end of the year fast approaching, many families may be considering getting a holiday card. We talked with Doug and Allie Cohen of Frameable Faces in Orchard Mall about what you should expect when you're making your own holiday card.
So I'm Doug Cohen.
And I'm Allie Cohen.
Together we're
Frameable Faces.
And we've been in the studio for how long, Allie?
We've been in this space. We're just starting our 14th year. We just wrapped up 13 years last month, so we're starting our 14th year here at our studio in the Orchard Mall.
And we're a photography studio, so Allie's the photographer. She actually is the one that takes the pictures. I help her on photo shoots with lighting and with meeting with clients, and I also have a digital marketing business that I run out of Frameable Faces here called M10 Social. So, and that's how really I got into that, was by doing all of the sales and the marketing for our studio. Allie kind of rescued me from corporate misery back in the day, and we started this together. She actually was already building this business on her own out of the house.
So I think that right now we are mostly known for high school seniors. Those are like, I love high school seniors, I think we both do. But as a result of those, people are coming back to us for family portraits now, especially for the holidays.
And we've always done family portraits and babies and some commercial work, professional headshots, products, all of that stuff. But definitely the portrait work is really our strongest niche and really what our core business is. And right now around the holidays, we're doing more family portraits. Obviously, I think the pandemic has, limited people from being together as much as they might have in the past. And so I think in some cases it's the holiday season that people target to try to make sure everyone is together. And in some cases it might be the first time they've all been together for a while. So it's important for them to get family portraits done while everyone's here so everyone can be in the picture. I would say for anybody that's looking to hire a professional, which you should, make sure that you're meeting with that professional photographer ahead of time to plan out your session. That's something we do with all of our clients, is meet with them ahead of time to figure out who's going to be in the photos, what color backdrops we might be using. You want to make sure you have some kind of strategy.
Clothing is also a big thing. So you don't have to match, but everybody should coordinate. So either in the same color family, jewel tones or different shades of blues, greens, whatever. So you don't have to match, but as long as everybody looks like they are together as a family unit, that's where you'll yield the best results. Now, since people are able to get together more, and it could be the first time that people are able to get back together with their family. So yes, we are seeing more people wanting to come back and update their family photos. And the holidays are the best time to do it. Yeah, everybody's happy.
And to send out those cards.
Yeah.
People do like to do that. So.
Thank you to Doug and Allie from Frameable Faces in Orchard Mall for those helpful holiday card tips. Now you know what to expect when getting your holiday card. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Calvin Brown.
Thank you again to Doug and Allie Cohen for giving us those great tips for getting your holiday portraits done, or any portraits really. That advice reigns true if you go and visit Frameable Faces, or if you find another photographer to take your family portraits. We're now going to check in with the West Bloomfield Varsity Football Awards. After a great season this year, the coaches had a bit of a difficulty figuring out who to give Defensive Player of the Year to, Team MVP. But all those players making a huge impact on the field and outside in the classroom. So let's take a look now at who got those awards.
After finishing their season with a 10-2 record, the West Bloomfield varsity football team recognized their stellar athletes at their annual awards ceremony.
Overall, we had a successful season. We went 10-2. Our goal was to win the state championship. But we knew going in we had a very young team. We had to replace 17 starters. So we knew we had a very young team, and I commend my coaching staff for that development, because every week these guys got better and better and better. So thank you guys, appreciate you guys, I love you guys, thank you for the support, and we're going to continue to make this thing rock next year as well.
The young team this year made a name for themselves because of the natural talent of their athletes, as well as the dedication of the coaching staff who presented each award.
Now, the guy that I'm going to give this award to, all right, did some spectacular things. All right, I've known him since he was like a little kid. He's able to coach him in basketball in middle school. He was a very good player for us last year. All right, had a game-changing play, 2 game-changing plays in the fourth quarter against Belleville. which got us to the state championship game. One-handed catches, I have a hard time believing are possible, all right? Had one against nobody in the rain. All right, so this kid, Samaj Morgan, he's 5th in all-time receiving yards as of now. By game 5 next year, whatever it is.
Mike had 2 ACL issues in the same year. So for him to come back this season and become Defensive Player of the Year, not just in West Bloomfield, but here in the state of Michigan, that is a tremendous feat. So Mr. Williams, I want to apologize to you because I didn't hear what you were saying, but I heard you thereafter, and it has allowed me to become a better coach. So the 2021 Defensive Player of the Year, Mike Williams.
The recipient in particular, I guess the best word to put is just a dominant football player and just an outstanding overall person. He kind of dominates everything he does. He dominates in the classroom, dominates relationships, he's a leader in the school, works his butt off, high character, and I'm sure more than half of these highlights you can find 10, 15 yards downfield, putting someone up 250 yards against the will. And I could sit here and talk for 2 or 3 more minutes, but it's not going to do enough justice. Amir Herring, offensive lineman of the year.
Dylan is one of our captains, and you know what? His name is Drew. You know, me and him butt heads. We butt heads. When he pulled aside and called like that, and ever since we were great friends. And I love him that. He's a good young man, a man that's got integrity, a man of character. He's going to be a guy that we should say from love had. And the support he has for his family is priceless. And I can think more about our most valuable player, Dylan Taylor.
Congratulations to those players who received an award, as well as the entire West Bloomfield varsity football team for their amazing season this year. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Maddie Muschin.
So exciting to see those athletes getting recognized at their awards ceremony, and obviously a great season for the varsity football team this year. So congratulations to the entire team for their great season. We're now going to check in with the Keego Harbor Chief of Police, John Fitzgerald. He is here this morning to talk a little bit about Keego Harbor and what he is doing to keep the community safe. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Chief Fitzgerald.
Morning, Maddie. Hopefully everything's going well for you today.
Oh, it is. It is. So let's first talk about a little bit your position as Chief of Police in Keego Harbor and maybe what your duties entail, as well as a day-to-day work day for you.
Well, I'm partially what they call working chief, so you'll see me out on the road. You'll see me, especially around the schools. Like to be out amongst the community so they know that I'm here and I know what's going on with the department. I'm in charge of the administration of the department, the scheduling of training, the scheduling, the making up the schedules, the payrolls, the overall functions of the department as a whole. It's a very well-rounded job of a lot of things to do.
And then you guys in Keego Harbor have a couple of different things that the community can have to stay safe this holiday season and afterwards. So let's start off with the Keego Harbor Safer Exchange program. So this is a way for people, families that maybe have to do custody changes or swaps with their children to make sure that they have a safer place to do that. So you can tell us a little bit about that program that you guys have there.
Sure. It's on our the parking lot of on the south side of the station off Nolson Road at Beachmont and Nolson. Is under surveillance with cameras. It's got signs posted up there as a safer exchange zone. I have to use safer because nothing's 100% safe, but it's for, like you said, exchange of custody with families. They can come there and they know that, there's police. If they're not in the station, they could be there any second. It's also good for internet sales and exchanges. So if you Facebook Marketplace or eBay and you have to meet somebody, especially don't meet these people at 5 o'clock in the morning in the dark in the alley behind a business someplace when they say they want to exchange a cell phone for $600 and you're bringing the $600. No, if you're going to meet somebody and make an exchange, do it in a public place. And a lot of police departments have the same kind of service as we do. So you don't have to drive to Keego Harbor for it, but for our residents or anybody else that is around that wants to use it, come into the parking lot. There, you know that at any second a police car can pull up. It's kind of like a beehive. You never know when we're in and out. And I've had a couple of times I've pulled up and thought, what is this car sitting in our police parking lot for? It's a very small parking lot. And I get out and talk to them. They go, oh, we're just waiting for somebody else to come, and we thought it was the best place to make the exchange. So it's posted signs, and we welcome people to come there and hopefully have safe sales exchanges and custody exchanges.
A great way for people in the greater West Bloomfield community to have those safe exchanges there at the Keego Harbor Police Department. And also with the holiday season coming up, some of the residents might be headed out of town. You guys also have that house check form that the Keego Harbor Police Department is offering. So can you tell us a little bit about what that house check form does and how one would fill it out and maybe what the benefit is to having that?
Well, sure. When you go online to the KeegoHarbor.org and go to the police department page, there is a house check form you can fill out. And then you can come in and drop it off to the department. And what happens is a notice goes out to all our officers, and it shows up on their computer screens in the car every single night or every single shift to make a check on the house. You give us a list of who may be there, who may not. Like if you have a neighbor checking or a relative that's going to come and check while you're in Florida or whatever, you put down who's got a set of keys if we have to get in the house, if something looks strange. So if something's going on, we don't have to break a door to get in there, that you have somebody that will come over and let us in. It also, you list what cars might be in the driveway, because we recommend that somebody pull in and out of the driveway while you're gone. It makes it look like somebody's home. If there's lights that are going to turn on, that's listed on the form too. And like I said, the most important thing is it's on every officer's computer when they start their shift, so they know, make a couple extra drive-bys there, take a closer look at that house. If something looks off, then we're going to investigate it further.
A great program for those who are maybe a little bit weary about going out of town for the first time since the pandemic. So it's a great way to keep your house safe while you're out of town. And then one of the last programs I wanted to talk to you about, Chief Fitzgerald, is Operation.
I have one more point on that too. When you are going out of town, I know everybody loves their social media and they want to post their pictures from Bermuda or Florida or wherever the cool weather is, or the ski trip to Colorado. Save your pictures till you're on the way back or till you get home, because when you post that you're in Colorado, everybody that's looking at your posts, and a lot of them are public, go, hey, those people aren't at home. That's a house we can break into. They know you're not around. So save your social media posts until you get back, then show your humble brag pictures all over the place.
A great piece of advice for our residents here. And then just real quick before we let you go, the Operation Medicine Cabinet, getting rid of any medicine prescriptions that you have in the house. If someone would want to participate in that and maybe drop something off, what does that entail, and how would someone go about dropping that off?
We ask that you come during regular business hours. Usually that'd be 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock each day, because we have to have the medicine checked in. There was a problem before because we can't take any sharps, we can't take any liquids. We have no way to dispose of those things. So we asked that it be all pills, capsules, tablets. And when you bring it in, our desk officer just take a look at it, and then we'll put it back in our evidence room and have it properly destroyed later. The problem is, like I said, we can't have any sharps in there, so we just want to make sure we check in the right stuff. And it'd be very helpful if people would bring in something that came in blister packs, if they will pop it out of the blister packs just into, you can pour all these pills into a sandwich baggie, a Ziploc sandwich baggie. They don't have to come in their original containers. As you're transporting them in here, you might want to keep the containers with you, just in the unlikely event you get stopped and somebody says, what are all those pills? Well, you're bringing them in to us to be destroyed. But once they get to us, we don't need to know what they are. They go in a giant tub of mixture of pills to get destroyed later. So we're happy to have you bring them in. It's better than flushing them down the toilet. It's better than leaving them around the house where kids, teenagers, or anybody else who might have a problem with controlled substances can get their hands on them and use them later. So we just want to make sure they get properly destroyed and aren't a danger to the community anymore.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Chief Fitzgerald.
Well, you're welcome. I wish you the best holidays, Merry Christmas, and thanks for having me on.
You as well. Thank you. Once again, we were joined by Chief Fitzgerald. He is the head of police in Keego Harbor. And that's it for today's show. Thank you so much for watching the Splash Live. For all of our friends in Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield, thank you for watching the Splash Live.